What's up, fellas? Thursday afternoon. Oh, just stuck in the shop, working on job shop work. I want to get back to some of the stuff that's going on the funny car, but been a little slow going because we've been so busy in here. So I just want to keep you guys interested and keep the flow rolling on the show, keep the records turning. Working on a little M3 BMW head that came in, a little hot rod BMW that's got a centrifugal supercharger. Did a little bit of porting on the intake runners and the bowls. Just doing the valve job now. Again, your backyard machine shop is still stuck in the Stone Ages here. We don't have a $150,000 new one. We're still living the rock life, which is fine. You know, it takes a little bit of skill, but not that much, and it's something just about anyone can learn with a budget of next to nothing. I watched the SM video. It's pretty cool. Old Steve showing the difference between doing stones with a $500 stone grinder, using a Rottler, and then using a $150,000 new one. He was talking about the time it takes to do stone valve jobs. I'm not really seeing it. So right now I just dressed my stone. We're going to do this what I call a traditional competition valve job, 3-angle, 30, 45, and 60. Right now I just dressed my stone. Again, I use all shoe holders because they're bearing holders. They spin nice on the pilots. But as you can see, these haven't been cut yet, and these have been cut. So the first thing I'm doing is just hitting my 45, and this I just want to show you. There's the roughed out 45. There's the non-cut. That's how quick that cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit all these 45s. I'm going to set my 30 and my 60 up, and we'll have this valve job done in about an hour. And about a $150 job. Nothing by no means life-changing money, but if I can make $150 an hour every hour, it's not bad. So let's go ahead and finish these 45s, and we'll put the other stones on there. Again, I use my trusty old calipers here to get my major OD size of my valve. So when I'm roughing here, I'm just checking to see how far I'm going over or not going over, see where the stock valve job is, if it hasn't been ground large enough. But the main thing is, when you're grinding, to take as little off the seat as possible. Because remember, you're changing your height. The more you sink the valve, the lower the valve's going to be. And if it's in a setup where it's an overhead cam and the adjustments by like tappet cups, then you have to do some grinding there to get your valve lash right. So always grind just enough as you have to clean the seat up, to get the pits out. So that's what I'm using this for, just to check. And you see how quickly this head's actually in really good shape. That's why it's cleaning up so quick. And just that little bit on the stone is cleaning it right up. And obviously it's making my 45. Making it way too wide, and when I say way too wide, wider than what I would want for a performance valve job. Right now, if I measured that with a pair of calipers, it's probably about 120 thousandths wide. We're going to neck that down. Street-driven cars, so I don't want to get too crazy and too narrow. Narrow seats make power flow better, but they're not as durable as a wider seat. So we'll neck this down to between 70, 75 thousandths. What we'll hold our width at. So now we'll get our magic marker out. I made a mistake earlier when I was rattling on. I'm working on the exhaust side right now. So being this is a street car, it's forced induction, I'm going to keep the seat width around 90. My magic marker's dried up, so let me change that. But yeah, I use my Sharpies so I can see my blend lines. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to hit the top with a 30 and bring it down a little bit. So right now, if you look, we're just a hair over, so we can put that 30 in there, put our nice, that'll be the beginning of our blend for our valve job. It'll thin it up, and then we'll go ahead and take our 60 stone and then raise that up, thin that width. Like I said, it's exhaust, it's forced induction, street car on gas, so we'll leave the seat width at 90 thou. Keep it a little wide so it don't burn up. It'll last a long time for them. Because, you know, it's not a race car, so this head's liable to stay on the car for another 100,000 miles. All right, so we just dressed our 30-degree top stone. And again, you want to keep these dressed. You want to keep that angle sharp because you're trying to blend angles in. And this edge will roll over quickly from a 30, and it'll start making, you know, start rolling over as the stone gets dull and getting steeper, and your angle will be going away. So you always want to keep that edge sharp when you're trying to thin the seats here. So I just stressed that. And I know, guys, this isn't very interesting. It's not fuel funny car engine building or nothing super exciting, but just trying to make content, keep the page going. Guys, you know, I know we already did a couple of valve jobs, but this again, this was just some head service on an M3 BMW. Came in, just basically the whole service, which was we clean them first, then we pressure test them before we do any machine work. After that, we surfaced the head, valve job. This one we did a little porting, just a little intake runner porting, just smoothing out transition on the short side and blend, basically bowl blending. It's not a race car, it's just a high-performance street car. And this whole job, you know, it's about an $800 job. So, you know, get it through the shop, about a day and a half between doing other things. But just wanted to segment it as we go. So we're back on our valve job, and we just hit the top 30 and see how we're thinning out that 45. Like I said, this is the exhaust and it's forced induction, so we don't want to make it too thin. We want to make it durable for them. It's not a max effort deal, it's a street car. So we'll go ahead and do our 30 on this side and see just how fast, now that the stone is nice and dressed, it doesn't take but a second. All it really takes. You see, hit that top, rolled over our blend, and starting to thin our main 45 C angle. So we got to go a little more. Bring that down. And on the foreign car heads, you'll notice how close the stone is to the chamber. So I do a lot of side dressing because I don't really want to nick the chambers. Pressed into aluminum, stone hits aluminum, it'll load up really fast. So that one, we're there now. See, we're right there where I want to be. And then again, our last angle, we're going to hit it with our 60 and just blend the bottom in. So go ahead and hit all these exhausts right quick. I got our Sharpie magic marker line so we could see what we're doing and finish this valve job up. And now we're grinding the bottom, our 60, raising it up, thinning our angle. We got some nice blends, and what's nice about the 60 stone, it's so deep and steep. It gets down there and it blends the bowl and actually opens it up to the throat of the seat. So that would be your 3-angle valve job on the exhaust side. Got nice 90,000s, 85, 90,000 seat width. Nice blends. So let's finish hitting these 60s. We'll flip it over and do the intake side. And then hopefully Anthony's back from lunch by that time and he can pop this bad boy together and be another job out the door. And a couple of shekels to pay some bills and what's left over to go to these funny cars. We got to get them suckers going, or we're never going to get out there and try to find a sponsor. As long as we're sitting in the garage, we're not going to find a sponsor. So let's finish knocking this out. Let's walk out here and check on the new guy. We got a new guy here in the shop. We got the new guy working outside today. This is Colby Cheese.
How's it going?
And he's tearing apart a 481-inch big block Chevy that came in for a rebuild, rework. So we're going to train him. See if he could be Anthony's protege. We always make the new guys work outside. They gotta earn the privilege to come inside and work. It's nice out, so we got the door open. Save a little bit on that electric on that AC system that sucks down about $1,000 a month. Well, I finished my job on the BMW head. Now Anthony's finishing up putting it together. Getting some new valve springs, titanium retainers, PSI springs. And this job will go out the door today.